Every engineer has heard the warning. AI is coming for your job. But here's the honest truth you're not being told. A recent industry survey shows that 69% of engineering and construction companies are now testing AI for scheduling, risk prediction, and cost estimation. The question isn't whether AI is entering project management. It already has. But will it replace project managers or reshape the profession? In engineering project management, math is not optional. It's the backbone of how we predict schedules, costs, and risk. Take a simple example, schedule estimation. When project managers predict how long a task will take, they're essentially building a probability distribution, often modeled as a normal distribution. As you see on the screen, the blue curve represents a traditional human estimate, wide, uncertain, full of unknowns. But when you introduce AI, trained on thousands of past schedules, design iterations, weather impacts, procurement delays, something interesting happens. The algorithm identifies hidden correlations and patterns the human eye can't detect. The result? A narrower standard deviation. And mathematically, that means a lower probability of extreme delays. If the original schedule had a standard deviation of, say, 18 days, an AI-assisted model might reduce that to 9 days. That reduction halves your exposure to schedule risk. It improves contingency planning, and it strengthens your Monte Carlo simulations. And it increases your confidence level in hitting the critical path. But here's the twist. Even with all this mathematical power, AI still cannot replace the project manager. Why? Because engineering projects do not live in spreadsheets. They live in the real world, where math meets ambiguity. There's a reason engineering is fundamentally harder to automate than coding or copywriting. Riddle and Weber called these challenges wicked problems, and nearly every major civil, mechanical, or industrial project falls into this category. A software bug is predictable, a marketing headline is predictable, but engineering? Engineering is a moving target. Your stakeholders change, regulations evolve mid-project, soil conditions disagree with the geotechnical report. A supplier misses a delivery. The client introduces a new constraint that contradicts the old one. These are not deterministic inputs. These are ambiguous, socially driven constraints, and AI struggles with that. An algorithm can optimize a critical path. It can't navigate a political turf war between contractors. It can't interpret a vague stakeholder demand like, make it safer but don't increase the budget. It can't rebalance an ethical decision when safety, cost, and schedule collide. Engineering project management is not just math. It is judgment under uncertainty, the very thing computers are worst at. To understand why AI won't replace project managers, let's study a real engineering disaster. One of the most infamous is the Boston Big Dig. Originally budgeted at $2.8 billion, ultimately costing nearly $14.6 billion and suffering catastrophic failures, including a fatal ceiling collapse. The problem wasn't a lack of math. It wasn't an inability to model loads or traffic or ventilation. The failures stemmed from human decisions shaped by political and social pressure. Contractors were pushed to meet unrealistic deadlines. Cheap, untested materials were selected for political reasons. Safety concerns were raised but ignored. Communication between agencies broke down. Stakeholders had conflicting goals and incentives. These were not engineering equations. These were political equations. And this is precisely where AI collapses. No predictive model could have understood the local political climate, the incentive structure, the fears of whistleblowers, or the negotiations happening behind closed doors. Project managers operate in the messy world of humans, mediating conflicts, building trust, and interpreting unspoken expectations. AI cannot negotiate. AI cannot take ethical responsibility. AI cannot protect the public. And in mega projects, those human traits matter more than any scheduling algorithm. So if AI won't replace project managers, what will it do? It will replace the project managers who refuse to use AI. That's the real truth. In fact, a recent PMI report found that 82% of project professionals believe AI tools will significantly transform project work within the next 5 years. This means the winners in engineering will be those who become AI-augmented PMs. What does that role look like? 1. AI handles the computation. It performs Monte Carlo schedule simulations in seconds, not hours. It analyzes soil reports, weather patterns, and supply chains automatically. It generates thousands of critical path variations before you finish your coffee. 2. Humans handle the interpretation. You judge whether a 12-day delay is acceptable. You assess the ethical consequences of a cost-saving measure. You negotiate with contractors who don't trust the data. You explain the trade-offs to a non-technical executive. 3. AI handles the pattern recognition. It detects early-stage project slippage before humans even notice. It identifies correlations hidden in millions of data points. 4. Humans handle judgment under ambiguity. Wicked problems, social tensions, political constraints. You're not being replaced. You're being upgraded, if you're willing. AI won't replace engineers, but engineers who use AI will replace those who don't. AI is not the enemy. It is the most powerful engineering assistant ever created. It will make your schedules tighter, your risk model sharper, and your decision-making more informed. But the world still needs human project managers, people who can lead, negotiate, interpret, and take responsibility. The engineers who thrive in the next decade will be those who master both worlds, mathematical precision plus human judgment. So, if you want to stay relevant, if you want to lead mega projects, if you want to rise above your competition, learn AI, use AI, become the AI-augmented PM. This is academic engineering, and the future belongs to those who build it.